Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Talking with Cars, and today what we're going to do, and this is a long time coming because it took me a while to get the product, and then I finally got it after interviews with John Williams over at C6 and a couple emails to Ivan LaCroix and a couple other chats here and there on email and whatnot, and I finally got my hands on C6 Hydrolyte. So I'm a little late in the game. This is a very expensive coating system. It's about $299. You can get it on House of Rags. It's supposed to be really kind of top shelf ceramic coating. They have their own website and everything, c6ceramics.com. You can check them out and kind of like, review and see what it's all about. So this is supposed to be a fairly easy install. I think one of the things that makes it a little bit more complex is the fact that you have to install, or you don't have to, but they recommend that you install an adhesion promoter. So the adhesion promoter polish is this right here. And what they're saying is that you install this using a small like palm sander type thing. So I have my DeWalt palm sander that I'm going to use with the jeweling pad that they sent out, which is this one right here. The red, I have the 5-inch rotary leveling pad. And we're going to use that to install the promoter polish. And what that's supposed to do is swell up the surface a little bit, allow for the coating to adhere better to the clear coat, and give you a longer lasting ceramic coating hydrophobic. So I'm curious to see how well that works. Prepping the entire side of my car over here on the Volvo. I'm going to be basically, I just washed it yesterday. I'm going to polish it, just do a quick polish because it's really kind of, I don't know, I'll show it to you real quick, but it's very, very clean. There's really nothing on it. There's a couple scuff marks here and there, where someone may have rubbed into it. So I'm gonna polish that off, get this panel, this door, and this front panel right here, fender, get that all cleaned up. I'm gonna do the rear view mirror. I'm gonna do this pillar up here, get that all done. And then this will be ready and prepared for the winter. So I'm kind of curious to see how this works out. I mean, the boxing is excellent. I've always been a proponent to making sure that these boxes are well prepared. So this is how it comes, right? So they're definitely spending a lot of money on the packaging, right? Here's the coating system. It's a 30 ml bottle. The applicator pad that they use is kind of more of a foam type, and it's got the finger hold on it, so you can kind of use that. But this is supposedly, let's see what it says here. C6 represents the pinnacle of ceramic coating technology and protection. Multiple ceramics give you the highest gloss and slickness and self-cleaning ability in the industry while providing protection that can last as long as the vehicle. As long as the vehicle. All right, well. I don't think this is a lifetime system. I think this is a 6-year system, if I remember correctly, and I'll put it up here in text. But I believe that's the way it's sold, is a 6-year system, and this is the Hydrolyte. They do have Hydro, which is supposed to be a little bit more robust, and then they got the Hydrolyte. So I'm curious to see how that works. It kind of feels heavy, to be quite honest, compared to some of the other coatings. I'm not really quite sure why. Again, I think this has, let's see here. It doesn't say on the box or anything like that if it's the detonated nano diamonds, but I'm curious to find out if that's the case. So the packaging is nice. I don't believe there's anything else in here. There's no installation card or anything like that. So we're gonna go ahead, polish this up, get it prepped, and then we're gonna go ahead to the adhesion promoter polish. We're gonna use very little of that. That's basically just a couple dabs here and there, just enough to cover the surface, and then you just polish it off. You just polish it off with a microfiber towel, and then you basically prep. You don't need to use a panel prep because the adhesion promoter polish is going to basically be the cleaner of the surface. So we're going to do that, and then we'll move on. So anyway, so let's check it out. Finally, C6 Hydrolyte. This is Talking with Cars. So what I'm going to polish it with is I'm going to polish it with DIY Details own products. So I'm going to kind of use all their products. I use their rinseless wash, I use their soap, I'm going to use their polish, I'm going to use their adhesion promoter polish, and then we're going to go ahead and install the C6 Hydrolyte. So let's go ahead and start polishing this up. It doesn't need much of a polish. Like I said, there's a little scuff right here that I need to get rid of. And then there's a couple other imperfections, but otherwise for a daily commuter, this thing is pretty good. So let's go. There's some minor imperfections in through here, in this like little divot here, and on the bottom portion of the door. So I'm going to try to use something a little bit more aggressive, 3D1, and then just kind of hit this area and see if I can make that a little bit better. So I think I got 90% of it, maybe a little bit more. But I noticed some imperfections in through here also, but very minor. And honestly, the coating might actually fill it. So let's see. Let's see how this looks. I mean, it looks pretty damn good. Smooth, definitely better than it was before. And on the imperfections that I saw, like visually, are gone. I mean, under a microscope, you're gonna see a lot of imperfections. For something like this, it's perfectly fine. So yeah, really good, prepped up nice. Now I'm gonna do this side of the car. I'm not gonna bother filming that part of it, but I wanna just kind of show you the step-by-step process before we do the adhesion promoter. All right, so the polishing is complete, and what I need to do now is I need to install the adhesion promoter polish, right? So this is the polish that's used. You put a couple dabs on this jeweling pad on your random orbiter, right? Because you don't want a long throw. You want a small throw, and that's how you're gonna put it on there. And you're gonna be basically putting it on very little, right? A couple dabs. It'll go a long way. I'm not really quite sure why they give you so much, but you only need a little bit to be able to kind of react with the clear coat and get it to open up its pores so you can put the ceramic coating on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a couple dabs of this, and we're gonna see how far we go. I'm hoping that a couple dabs takes me halfway, and then I'll put one more dab and that'll finish it off. And then that's it. That's all you need to do. Wipe it off. I'm waiting for the garage to get to 50 degrees because that's the ideal temperature, 50 and up. And then we're gonna install the coating system. So let's get right to it. That's probably a little too much. All right, I didn't put a lot, and I let it, basically I'm carrying it through the whole car, and we're gonna wipe it off pretty quickly. I don't want it to dwell too much on the paint. It comes off fairly easy. I was a little worried about it because I heard a lot of nightmare stories about it. But I wanted to use the adhesion promoter polish just to make sure that I maximized a little splatter here and there. Not much though. But I wanted to, you know, maximize how much I get out of this coating. So it seems to do a pretty decent job of cleaning the surface. It leaves a little something behind. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, you know, some of the, maybe a little bit of silicon dioxide. It's kind of like, you know, you're kind of rubbing that into the coating or your clear coat. All right. So that wasn't that bad. I'm gonna double check the instructions to make sure I'm doing this correctly, but I believe I am. I don't want it to stay on too long. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. All right, I'm gonna double check the instructions and I'll get right back to you. All right, yeah, so this is kind of a no-brainer. It basically says the easy to use formula works with any ceramic coating, by the way, to eliminate the need for a panel prep and will increase the gloss and durability of most coatings. Use sparingly with the red jeweling pad, dry, and a short stroke 2 to 9 millimeter random orbiter. It can also be applied by hand. So C6 ceramic app isn't time sensitive. It can be wiped off with a dry microfiber car cloth as you go. It's been applied to a whole vehicle. Apply the coating within 24 hours. So what they want you to do is they want you to install their coating system or another coating system within 24 hours of applying this app, right? So that's all you need to do. So we're gonna go ahead and finish the front half of the car. I'm gonna put one more dab. I'm gonna go ahead and use the DA and basically go and wipe it off. And then we're gonna wait a couple minutes, get to 55 degrees, and we're gonna go ahead and install the coating system, the C6 Hydrolyte. So just so you know, I used 4 drops for this entire side of the car. So I'm not really quite sure why they give you so much of this. And this is about $30, I believe, if I remember correctly. So $30 for this APP. I know you could use it for a bunch of different things, and I think I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna try to use it with different coating systems and see if it kind of helps those coating systems last a little bit longer. It is one extra step, but it was fairly easy to install. I mean, honestly, with the random orbiter, it went on very easily. It came off very easily. I was a little nervous because I saw some other videos and some other YouTubers kind of use it, and they kind of had problems with it. It was sticky and all that kind of stuff. I didn't experience any of that. This was actually very easy to install, very easy to wipe off. And now I'm giving the garage a little chance to kind of warm up a little bit so we can go ahead and install the coating system. So the coating system is Hydrolyte, C6 Hydrolyte. And I'm really excited to try this, right, and put this on here. So I'm following all the steps, right? I'm cleaning it, I'm rinseless washing it, I'm polishing it, I'm putting the APP on it, and now I'm gonna put the Hydrolyte. So this ceramic coating should be like stellar, right? It should last well into a year, 2 years, 3 years. And I've always been the person to say, hey, let it last a year and a half, 2 years, and I'll go ahead and repolish the car and basically put another coating on it. And then by the time I put my second coating on it, I'll have sold the car. So I'm not really too worried about it. But you know, I just wanted to kind of make sure that I put something on there that lasts a long time. I heard a lot of great things about this stuff, so let's give it a shot. Let's put that applicator pad on our hands in a couple minutes and go to town. All right, so we're gonna start on this side of the car. We're gonna get these 2 panels done first, and then we're gonna wipe that off and then move to the front of the car. So let's go ahead and install. I shook this up probably for the last 5 minutes. Shook it up. Let's see how easily it comes out. All right, it pours out. I like that. All right, so you don't have to like fight it. I'm gonna saturate this a little bit, kind of butterfly it so it's everywhere. A little bit more. Okay, we're gonna close this up so we protect it, and we're gonna go ahead and install this. And what we're looking for is for it to kind of rainbow, and then after it rainbows, we're gonna start to kind of wipe it off. But I'm gonna give it a couple minutes, few minutes for it to get onto the paint. Definitely has a coating smell. It goes on very similar to the DIY 3-year coating, so it's kind of got that feel. It's going on kind of heavy, which I don't mind. Definitely has that oil slick look to it and feel to it. All right, not too bad. Pretty easy to install, to be quite honest. And it's going far, so you don't need a lot. I mean, I could probably put a couple more dabs on it, but there's plenty on the applicator right now. And these gray cars are hard to to kind of like follow. See where you installed it. So we're gonna have to use the Lite. Getting a little draggy, so we're gonna put a little bit more on the pad. I like how it saturates the pad. I like how it kind of comes out of the bottle. Let's move this light so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Yeah, putting a little bit more on the pad helped. Okay, I mean, it's super slick, that's for sure. And I'm hoping this adhesion promoter really kind of helps with the longevity. I don't think I'm missing any spots. Everything looks pretty good. It looks saturated. This whole side looks good. I have Pan the organizer on the back. I have Geonmos up here. Now we have C6 Hydrolyte. I'm going to bring this all the way to the A pillar here. And I think I'm going to let that sit a little bit. I'm going to wait a couple minutes. So that'll put me at 105. And then we'll go ahead and remove this and see how slick it is to remove. All right, so it's been a few minutes. It's been probably 5 minutes right now. We saw the rainbowing, and we're gonna go ahead and try to remove the coating. I mean, initially it's a little grabby, but it's not that bad. Not that bad at all, actually. We're gonna go ahead and wipe off all this coating from the top pillar here. Remove it from this side. I'm flipping the towel so I can get a little bit more of the product off. I mean, it almost self-levels. It's like really, really glossy for sure. I wouldn't do more than 2 panels at a time. Wow, okay, yeah, so that's pretty glossy. Not the slickest coating in the world, and maybe that's okay. At least right now it's not the slickest, but it is slick, don't get me wrong. Let's flip the towel. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I mean, actually, the more you wipe it down, the slicker it gets, and maybe even like the more it cures, the slicker it gets too. So yeah, I mean, this is very, very nice. I mean, for $300, you would hope so. So it was a lengthy process in order for me to get my hands on this coating system. You know, I had the interview with John Williams. First go around, nothing really happened. And then over some time, I finally got an email saying, hey, are you still interested in trying it out? I said I was. Finally got my hands on it. And then it's been sitting for a little while, so I apologize to C6, John, and Ivan. But yeah, it took a little while. Life kind of got in the way. And there's other promotions and stuff like that I had to work on, other videos. But yeah, I'm kind of pleased with this. I really am. I'm impressed, definitely. It's very glossy. I like it a lot. And I don't want to overdo it, but yeah, you can see. Let me see if I can bring the camera in a little closer. You can see how glossy that is. That's pretty good. That's impressive. So I like that a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do those 2 panels right there, the front door and the front fender. And we're gonna let that sit for about 5 minutes, and we're gonna go ahead and wipe that off. And then we'll go ahead and I'll show you the final results. This whole side of the car is coated with C6 Hydrolyte. So let's wait the 7 days. Let's see how it does. We'll go ahead and wash it for the first time next week. But I gotta admit, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the coating. I'm impressed with how it's applied. I like how it comes out of the bottle. I'm not the biggest fan with the extra step, the APP, but overall I think it went really well. It was very easy. So I'm liking it. The price is up there. It's definitely up there, and there's a lot of coatings out there like Pandy organizers, 3 and 8 year, which are super easy to install. They don't need an APP, but I don't know, maybe it's just something, another step that they're looking at a microscopic scale, and it could definitely help, you know. So, you know, I'm not a chemist, I don't know. I'm assuming that the creators of this system know what they're talking about, and they know that this is gonna help. So let's check it out. 7 days, I'll see you in a little bit. Peace.